A good day ahead of you. It's 10 a.m. on Monday. Thanks for hanging out with us. First and foremost, we're going to be going on our own journey through the academy, taking Shen through the jungle and top lane, trying to climb up to Diamond. Also something that we're going to do later, around 1 p.m. Eastern. We're going to go over the World Finals, what happened, and one of the biggest narratives that came up in that match was the draft. Huge differences in draft. We're going to go over how to create a meta, what it should look like, what's the role of an analyst, and how to create a sheet like this that will allow you to come up with a good draft, right? And this is something that should not happen at the world's level. There shouldn't be this much of a discrepancy. Sometimes you have bias and you have hubris, and basically we can use stats to kind of pierce through those factors. You do want to have confidence in your players, and you want to give them that, but you also want to put them in the best position to win. So I'm going to show you guys how to set that up. And this is useful no matter what game you play, what sport you play, whatever you do. You always want to think about what are the best approaches towards performing and how you're going to set yourself up. Whether or not it's a basketball play, who do I want to be taking shots under what situations should they have the ball, right? Or what champions am I going to play? What combinations of champions do I want in the draft? What am I giving up when I pick this and giving the other team something else? So we're going to be going over that again. That'll be at about 1 o'clock. That's going to be a treat, so everybody should tune in for that. But for now, we're going to load onto the Rift. We're going to keep on going with Shen. Here's our progress so far. We've had a couple of very stressful days, so we're not in an ideal situation for climbing by any means, but we did get a great night's sleep last night. Yesterday was hell for me, but went to bed nice and early, had a very nice sleep, woke up, I'm good. Oh, Riot ID Day is here, all right. D-Day, shit. Transition to summon names. Boom, I can be surrealist. Great, sick. All right, so I'm just going to be surrealist. Okay. Retiring 2024 seasonal challenges. We're retiring. Okay, I guess a lot of stuff come out. Wait, did they launch the patch today? They normally don't do this. 1323. Oh, they did. Okay. Okay, so a little bit of a bomb. My goodness, we've got a lot to look over. I guess we will reference these champions if they end up in the draft. We've got Briar, Jarvan, Cassante, Naafiri, Ziggs, all of which needed nerfs. Makes sense. Draven got buffed. That's interesting. Janna getting another one makes sense because, like we said, if you guys saw our patch preview, this champion was not in a playable state. Vel'Koz getting a bit of a buff. This is a direct answer, seemingly, to the rage thread that came out that went viral about, like, how come all the other mages are getting it? Why isn't Vel'Koz getting buffed or touched? And the answer that they got was Vel'Koz was basically just doomed. So it seems like this is a direct answer to that. Trumbull being buffed is actually big. This is the first champion that we had Diamond on. Take a quick peek at these. Q cooldown going down. Cassante, big changes. My goodness. 15 mana cost going up. Gosh, there's so much to work with that champion. Riven is going to be close. If you're a Riven one trick, you're probably going to have the time of your life for the next couple weeks. Like we said, this is the time as you enter preseason, they give a lot of fan favorite buffs, right? They give it to champions that people tend to one trick that aren't playable in pro. They get a lot of buffs right now since they don't need to worry about the system breaking. Attack damage growth going up by 1, and all right, so the mana cost is not really important, although this definitely impacts his laning more than anything. And attack damage growth going up by 1, which you feel the most when you're laning. So this is actually a pretty big buff to Trundle. I won't be surprised to actually see some changes here. Base AD increased by 1. They lose 10 damage. No, flat damage off everything. That's gonna be a pain. That's a lot of damage out in your laning phase. Satchel charge, losing 4 seconds early on the spell. Also 15 extra mana, so you can't use it as effectively as just poke. A lot of times you're using Satchel charge to set up your Q. Turret gold. Oh, they did all the gold changes? My goodness, okay. All right, well, I guess we actually have to read this really quickly. Right, ID change. Today or yesterday, we phased out the usage of summoner names and moved all players exclusively to Riot IDs to create a more unified experience across all of our games. Makes sense. W damage decreased. Soldiers now apply on-hit effects on their primary target. The magic damage went down 15 at late levels. It went down by 5%, which is a lot over the course of the game. And they lost 2 points per rank as you leveled it up. It was the spell that you were ranking up the most. You're still going to want to do that. W attacks on the primary target, only the primary, now trigger on hit effects. So this is not hitting all the pass-through damage, but your primary target is getting hit. Most of the time you're hitting isolated targets, but sometimes you're doing a lot of AoE damage. This is a direct buff to Nashor's Tooth, and like this is something that they actually took away from Azir the first time he was too broken. So I'm kind of fascinated that they're giving it back. This is going to result in a buff to Azir. Probably means that we have to ban this champion. Briar, despite the nerfs, she keeps performing. That's because people are finally figuring out the better builds. Base health is going down by 20. This means you can punish her in the early game. The sneak attack is being changed to 5% total AD, 9% of the target's missing health, and 2.5% instead of 3.5%. So down by 1% of your 100 bonus AD and down 1% on the damage of the target's missing health. So the execute on the empowered part going to be a little bit tougher. Our quality of life changes. It now returns to his body after striking a champion while he's dead. Okay. Small thing, quality of life, but that's going to make a small difference. Passive bonus movement speed adjusted. All right, okay, this is huge that she's just getting it to 30% right away. Cooldown going down by a second. This is really big for her main lane poking ability. 650 range, center to center. It's now edge to edge. This should make W better against large targets while being neutral against smaller targets. And slightly worse against tiny targets. Monsoon cooldown being improved by 20 seconds at all ranks. So yeah, they're definitely giving a lot of treats to Janna. Jarvan has still been overperforming. Makes sense. Another quick nerf. He'll still be fine. Kit's just that good. Mana cost. He's now gaining more mana cost in Natofo. That's going to be impactful because that's the first resource that he ran out of during lane phase. The damage is going down by 5 per rank. It's keeping the rest of the scaling. Okay, so just 5 per rank. I mean, that's a lot. Right, you're casting this a lot. This is a huge nerf. W is still the stronger ability. Fixed a bug, no, just a bug that allowed him to launch Pathmaker's Dash early. Yeah, I noticed this. I don't know what we were doing to do it, but I was like, wait a second, shouldn't we have had to wait? So the channel will end without a dash. Oh, I don't know if I like that. Well, you know what? It gives the ability for you to just prevent damage and not want to dash. But it's going to go those weird spots where you're like, okay, I think I've done it. I want to input my next command, and you might actually screw yourself out of it. So like Alistar W, you're going to have to wait for the visual to see that it goes before casting your next ability. Footwork, 15%. Bonus health is losing 5%, but it's gaining 5. Whoa. 5 early and a massive amount later. This shield is huge. 5% of your bonus health change is not that big of a change, right? Let's say you gain 1,000 bonus health. That's an extra 50. You're getting more than that back. You know what? By the time you're playing this, you're going to have more than that health. So overall nerf as well. Base ranks will be better. Early game, I don't think there's a world where you play this. This might open a world for support Cassante to be a little bit stronger. Now that this, like, you actually have some reasons to put some points here, but still probably not. Passive bonus damage going down, thank you. Bonus attack damage 15, 30, 45 is changing. Yep. Okay, 5 per rank. Okay, good. This guy needed a lot of nerfs. He got a lot of nerfs, thank goodness. Nefiri passive pack mate damage decreased. E base damage decreased. Okay, small but something, and that is a large part of your early damage and late, you know, it's part of the whole kit. Flurry damage on Eviscerate, losing 5 early, 5 per rank. And the max damage also going down 5 per rank. Okay, nice. Riven QAD scaling increased. So we're gaining 5%. This is total AD. Okay, so this is going to make her level 1 even more broken. So level 1, be careful of Riven. Definitely step back. She's going to win almost every 1v1. I think Trundle might be the only person that still beats her. We'll have to check this. Bonus attack damage on the R also going up by 5%. That's huge because then it impacts things like this. So basically all of her ratios. So these are pretty big buffs to Riven. It's basically going to be her time to shine. Very complicated champion. I don't recommend picking it up if you don't already have it. But this is a champion that could easily, if it's part of your wheelhouse, you can probably easily climb with this. Trundle, massive buffs, including specifically to the top lane. This is going to be bigger felt in the top lane, but also in the jungle. Kind of making me want to swap and go into Trundle in the jungle, but we're going to keep riding Shen for a while. Vel'Koz passive damage increased, 3rd stack damage, going up by 2 to 11. They also did something to his numbers to make his numbers more aligned with Pi. Okay, it's not, they're not showing it here. But, okay. But 60% AP, this is based for, again, anytime that they give AP ratios, it's based mostly for the laners. So that is a nod towards mid lane Vel'Koz. We already saw the Ziggs changes. This is a pretty massive nerf to Ziggs. Don't know. This will be enough to take him out of that S tier for sure. Turret gold adjustments. This is big. So we'll go ahead and read it. In this patch, we'll be adjusting turret gold rewards in an effort to make split pushing a more satisfying path to power. Split pushing has been dead for several years now. Inner turrets will have 125 gold shifted from global into local. That's huge, which will raise the individual power of anyone brave enough to push into enemy territory to take them down. This is a nerf to Shen, by the way, for lane. We're also shifting and raising the value of inhibitor turrets in order to make them a much more valuable objective overall. That's because no one has the patience to learn what a slow push is. If you guys have been subscribers, then you guys know how to slow push and you know how to create pressure into those lanes. Once a turret is down at 1/3 health, it is vulnerable and you can actually create waves that can win the inhibitors for you. Currently, it isn't worth risking taking down an inhibitor turret while splitting, so we'd like to make this fairly dangerous objective more worthwhile. Statistically, top laners earn the most turret gold of any role in the game in every skill bracket, so a relative increase in local turret value should disproportionately help top laners convert their strength into more power and thus increase their agency over the game as a whole. Also, did you know the turrets have items in their inventory that explain what some of the various rules? They've received small clarity in Content Pass to be a bit more informative and easier to read. I still think that 99% of the player base doesn't know what a bulwark is. Mid lane local gold, 125. Side lane local gold, 125. Global gold being reduced. So instead of giving 50 to everybody, now everyone's getting 25, but you're getting an extra 125. So you're losing 25 from the total, from the share pool, but you're gaining the 125 solo. So this is a net increase of 100. Total gold value is unchanged. Inhibitor turrets, 50 to 375. This is actually pretty big because now it's worth more than the kill. When they kill you, you're getting a significant chunk of this threat on the map to be permanent. You're also getting a significant chunk of the gold share. You just have to remember that you don't want to die with something like Baron up or Soul. Global gold going down by 125. Total gold value going up by 200. Yep, makes sense. So absolutely will be worth it. Basically every single time that you can do it. If you can definitely kill the turret, still not worth hanging out past the minions. If the minions are dead, don't stick around. It's not worth it. You're not going to be able to kill that turret. ARAM changes, we don't care. Nexus splits, we don't care. Ping changes. Any ally, scoreboard, or item spell cooldown ping is sent to the team if the item or ability is in the last 50% of its cooldown. Why? Guys, like, stop doing this. It's like you're denying the windows. You're trying to treat the moments of like where you think people are more likely to be like, cooldown, 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 cooldown. Why did you spend that? And it's just all you need to do is limit those spam pings to 2. Make it so you can't ping the same thing more than twice. And that's it. That's literally the only change. Why can't they come up with this solution? I don't know. Instead, they just make the entire game more awkward to play for everybody else. Ping changes, known bugs, sending an ally scoreboard or summoner spell cooldown ping in the last 50% of its cooldown will show party in front of the ping, even though it is still being broadcast to the whole team. Okay. Again, like, obnoxious. Like, why are you doing it with this? It just doesn't make sense. Bug fixes. In an effort to simplify the career stats tab, I don't care, fixed a bug that caused killing an enemy with Lulu's picks to give incorrect kill credit, fixed a bug that caused Rel's Ferromancy, Magnet Storm combination to sometimes cause Magnet Storm to interrupt channeled abilities. I would have suspected it would have done that since it's moving them. Okay. Well, I don't know what the use case of this is, but hopefully they're targeting the right kind of thing. Fixed a bug that caused Cassante to become bugged after using certain ability combos during his R all-out. Fixed a bug that caused ward sound effects to become permanent if a ward timed out. God, those are the most annoying. Fixed a bug that caused Elise's Repel Cocoon to incorrectly use stun duration values when calculating damage amplification. Interesting. Fixed a bug that caused Oracle's Lens to sometimes permanently reveal jungle companions. That would be obnoxious. Okay, so bugs, truly bugs, and a couple B chromas. Okay. Not bad. I don't mind it. It's definitely, Trundle, Riven, big winners here for sure. It's going to be a lot of fun. Janna also a big winner as well. Other ones are a little bit smaller. Azir, they call this an adjustment, but it's going to you're going to feel it with Nasher's Tooth. When Nasher's Tooth is hitting, like, you're going to see that damage. It's going to be a big difference. And then all these guys needed nerfs. So overall, great patch. Love it. Okay. Now we're comfortable. We couldn't in good conscience start playing without seeing the patch notes. All right, these pop-ups have been coming up literally for a year now. Same thing with the gift. This is something I've been torn on this bottom row. Shield Bash, I think I'm confident on. I could go Guardian in a lot of situations, could go Grasp in some situations. Aftershock generally tends to be the best for this role, especially if we're going to become the frontliner for the team. Also, since we're rushing Balmy Cinder into Radiant Virtue, we tend to want to have the free boots. Conditioning makes a lot of sense if we're going to be that frontliner. Don't really need to have these. Although Bone Plating is really good if you're going for a lot of early ganks. Combined with the Aftershock, you're basically unkillable in those early pressures. So there is definitely a moment if you think that your team's going to get outscaled and you want to win early, definitely go into Bone Plating. And here, this is where I'm really torn. Revitalize, you feel this all game as a jungler because every single time that you heal up from killing the camps, you get stronger. That said, Overgrowth is also making you stronger, making all of your abilities stronger with your HP scaling. So it feels like you might want to go here, but statistically, Shen just performs better with Revitalize. So it's kind of tough to see the difference, but I think the scale's going to tip with the fact that you heal off of these camps, and we're going to keep it this way. We're going to go with Cosmic Insight so we have more access to Flash and Smite. And we're going to do a little bit of practice. We're going to go and try to get our timing down. We're going to go topside this time. We tend to always go... Well, it doesn't really matter. We can just do one side or the other. No leash. We're going to go blue gromp red and get our timing down so that we know exactly when to go. Item sets. I still haven't figured out how to get rid of these. If you guys know, please let me know. The whole item presets got kind of bugged. We're going to lean into this. We're going to assume that we're here. And one of the tricks that we remember during the kit, 125 is when you want to cast this Q. You're going to keep this buff open for the extra attack. The shield goes down, no big deal. But we go for these hits. And you see that it's kind of timing out at the same time. That way we basically get 6 empowered auto attacks. Now anytime that we're soloing, we're always going to go It's important to actually get that little move in because you want to have that little tick of the jungle companion hitting so that they'll hit again. Now same thing, I'm going to use my Q here 5 seconds before I get to the camp. In theory, no, we'll never have smite here. So if we're going 240, we're done. In the river, 245. All right, good. Trying to get all 3. Nope, shorting it again. Short. This is one of the trickier ones. Got him. Love it. Okay. All right. Time to get rolling. Time to get crack-a-lackin', cuz. Okay. Bug number 1. Hey. No, that's not what we want to see. Let's hope it's not that. That would suck. You guys can join the discussion, by the way, when we do get into this meta building strategy and review. Use hashtag #StratChat. One word. You guys can pop it in. What do you think an optimal draft would look like? What is your best 5? Like, if you could build the perfect 5-stack team right now, what would it be, right? And obviously, the discussion for this meta at Worlds is going to change. You know, Jarvan's going to get pegged down, for example. There's a lot of individual changes we can make to this, but what do you think is the best team? Hashtag StratChat. StratChat. Is that too hard? Should be easy enough. League is having a tough time. This guy's not out yet, is he? I guess we could have seen it here. In this week's patch, we're focusing on other news, some unbelievable B-skins. So nothing about the champion. So they're just trying to get hype up. They want to make it so anticipation is high. They'll probably release them a week from now. Okay, not a good sign. That is really bizarre. Who knows if it's going to affect our ability. Maybe we'll just have to Q fill and that would suck, but all Shen, all lanes. I think we can do it. So that split pushing element, I mean, that's huge for champions like Tryndamere, Alawi, Fiora, Jax. I mean, the whole scope of them. Alawi's in a pretty comfortable state. I think if there's ever a world where she starts to get played, it would be one where split pushing is the meta, because she likes to just go toe to toe with all of these champions. What she doesn't want to play against is something like a Vayne side lane. So we'll see whether or not that ever comes up. The problem with Vayne is that as you get to the late game, you have to interrupt her. You have to interrupt Alawi's leap strike with your condemn, because if they connect with you and they get the Iceborne proc, that will necessarily mean that they hit the E, which means that they'll hit the double Q because you're still slowed. And if they do that, then there's basically no more winning that fight, and that big ultimate will come out. Gonna leave this up. Gangplank is a notable counter to Shen. Can play better on the side lanes, wins the 1v1, can break the taunt, and can answer the global play. So Gangplank just a very natural enemy. Not many people in this ELO. This is platinum, I believe. Maybe like mid-high platinum. Not many people in this level are going to play Gangplank great, but still we don't want to just walk into one of the worst situations. Jax might be something more ubiquitous. Now, as I said, each game, depending on what your role is going to be, whether or not you're getting scaled, outscaled, what it's going to shape out like, can determine whether or not you go bone plating versus conditioning. And then sometimes you can make a consideration on whether or not you're going to end up with demonic embrace and putting it into the overgrowth equation. But the heals and shields are definitely felt. Your ultimate, it's a big shield. Your passive is a shield. So there's always going to be sources for those shields to be coming out. It always gets a lot of extra power. Also, when we have that Radiant Virtue, Revitalize is going to impact that as well. So as long as that's our main build, we're going to be looking to do this. Now, the problem with Radiant Virtue on Shen compared to someone like Sejuani is that Sejuani has multiple ways to lock people down, right? She has 3 different stuns. So much easier for her to just build Radiant Virtue, whereas Shen might want something like Iceborne Gauntlet to hold people in place a little bit better as fights break out. Usually we go Iceborne if they are predominantly, or if they have double marksman, basically. If they have double marksman, then Iceborne gets a lot of value. This game they've got Jackson set diving on top of us. We have the double marksman. And they're going to be diving. So yeah, Radiant Virtue makes a lot of sense. We're going to try to play in our front to back. All right, I'm going to mute the mic. I'm going to focus, and I'm going to be working on my gameplay. So in tryhard mode, I don't want to be distracted. I'd love to walk through things, but right now this is about me performing. So I'm going to tune that part out. I will join it back in after the game.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. Seconds until minions spawn. Shut down. has been slain. An ally has been slain. Your team has destroyed a turret. Your turret has been destroyed. Your team has destroyed a turret. An enemy has been slain. Spree. Your turret has been destroyed. Rampage. Your turret has been destroyed. An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain. Aced.
Alright. What could we have done differently? Obviously, stay away from Jax at level 1. We kind of had a misread that he would go straight to Crab. I guess he saw us crossing mid, so he had the prerogative to do that. Oh, hold on, we're not dead? Somehow? Okay. Okay, we're not dead. Teleport. We have an exposed base is the problem. Like, it's Baron. It's got to be Baron. It's got to be win fight in, like, whatever direction we go, but Triss needs to go here so I can teleport to her, really. It's too late. Yeah, I mean, they're right. Like, we have to clear out the base. You know, we have no business contesting this dragon. That's what it comes down to. This was the derp play, this was the brains play. This is a mistake. You don't want to spend time doing this, even in transition. Like, there's just not enough time. Alright, so they retreated, they definitely backed, and they shopped. We have a respawning inhibitor, so it's my job now to be on top of this lane. I have to hope that maybe they just don't know that I don't have my ultimate, I think, is our best chance.
An ally has been slain.
There goes the idea of winning the fight. Maybe Jace could have come down, but Jace needs to show that they're willing to actually start playing. Like I was typing in the middle of lanes and stuff like that, so I can't base any of my decisions on what he should do. Alright, gonna try to lure them into the base. Come on, Set, you wanna ult me here. Try for a little mechanical play. Ugh, tough one. Is it just the champ? Is it just me? Thresh was the man. This guy was sweet. Having some serious gut checks on Shen. Might still be in the avenue where the Q changes are still affecting his jungle too much. It could just be me. Let's finish this best of 3. Let's get this. We can still do this. Alright, it's time to swap it up. I lost faith. It just doesn't feel good. It just doesn't feel good. Could have made some plays around there. Could have had early plays level 1. Based on the level 1. Radiant Virtue has felt particularly bad. I'm gonna be honest. Like, it feels really, really bad for these games. I may want to consider going back into like the Trinity Force. You couldn't go Rift Maker. There's Gore Drinkers possible as well. Just like actually get the stats for auto attacking, right? You don't play into your AP ratios, but it's no big deal. Gore Drinker has a little bit of everything. Yeah, I'm actually looking at it right now. Radiant Virtue has a very, very poor win rate. Even Shroud, right? It's just taking too much out of your ability to fight. Indexing too much for the team fight where you might not have a clearly positioned role, and especially in low, you know, this is not low, but middle ELO. In mid ELO, people do not have a great sense of where they have to be for fights, and so you're much less likely to get that like true design team fight. All right, we're gonna turn the mic off again. We're going to buckle down and focus on the game. We've got Cyan Orange. Gonna try to fire our win conditions.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. Seconds until minions spawn. Minions have spawned.
mediocre.
Plating will soon fall. An enemy has been slain. Your turret has been destroyed. Your team has destroyed a turret. Shut down. Executed. slain. An ally has been slain. Aced. An enemy has been slain. Your team has destroyed a turret. An ally has been slain. is respawning soon. Shut down. Your team has destroyed an inhibitor. An enemy has been slain. Ace. been destroyed. An enemy has been destroyed. Shut down. Has been slain. Has been slain. The enemy's inhibitor is respawned. Aced. Defeat.
That's gonna be it for me. That's a tough one. That's okay. 0-2. Not a good start to the series, huh? We've been doing all of our own things, but just hitting a little bit of an L streak right here. So that's okay. We'll get through it. York felt great. It was fine. A lot of things that we could have done better. It's difficult when someone chooses to play that strategy on Scion. And especially with the way that they were doing, they weren't even trying. I don't think so. And we're not going to hang our hat too much on the case of that game. All of these games, right? There's things we can do better, things that everybody can do better, but we can definitely be a little bit more careful and a little bit more precise with our maiden usage and our side lane split pressure. So those are the things that we're going to work on with those. But anyways, thanks for tuning in. I got to go get some food in me and then go to the dentist. I will be back at about 1 o'clock. We should be at 1 o'clock. We're going to break down the draft diff in the finals and how you want to set up your draft and then go over the whole series, hopefully, at least some key moments. All right, so I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in. Keep it surreal. Peace.